I don't know if it's a good time to tell you this, but I have a disease, and I'm not sure how long I've got. It sounded pretty serious when I read about it in the comment sections on TikTok, but facts are facts, and I've got all the symptoms. Hallucinations, irrational anxiety, poor financial decision-making skills, and I'm even starting to drive away my closest loved ones. I know what you're thinking, and it's not the bubonic plague. I'm talking about gigs. Gigs, otherwise known as grass is always greener syndrome, might sound like some weird disease that landscapers and obsessive gardeners get, but it's actually a very real and a very troubling mental phenomenon that serves as a perpetual version of something that many of us in this room might have encountered before. According to organizations like the Taylor Counseling Group, gigs is a chronic dissatisfaction with an aspect of the presence that causes one to make irrational decisions to rectify the feeling. But it's far more impactful than making you behave rashly, like sharing too much information about your speech at the beginning of the speech and debate round. Gigs can cause a real mental struggle that disrupts with how we see our own lives when compared to others. Imagine always thinking that a better, more amazing life is just around the corner, but never quite reaching it. It's a carrot on a string dangling out of reach, and you are one delusional, pissed off horse. You're constantly measuring your life to others or to some ideal version of what you think your life could be, and it leaves you feeling frustrated, downright dissatisfied, and sometimes questioning the validity of your very own existence. So, how do we stop ourselves from wishing we were or had more than we are or do? We'll start off first by more extensively exploring the problems that gig syndrome creates and how they manifest within the brain itself. Secondly, we'll examine the causes of the gig syndrome before lastly discussing how we might be able to cure ourselves and restore a healthy perspective to our current situations. Let's start with a more in-depth exploration of the problems that gig syndrome creates within the lives of people who experience it. First and foremost, gigs greatly diminishes the happiness that you get to feel on a day-to-day basis when accomplishing tasks and getting rewards. This was proven by a study published in the journal Nature Neuroscience, where researchers scanned the brains of macaws in a situation where pairs of monkeys received rewards. For the sake of clarity and my own enjoyment, we will henceforth call these rewards monkey treats. The results show that the monkey's appreciation of a monkey's treat decreases when they see their partner receiving the same monkey treat. They determined this not by only measuring endorphin release, but by scanning the same brain region associated with envy in human beings, the medial prefrontal cortex. And scans showed up like it was lighting up like the monkey 4th of July, all because they diminished the value of their own monkey treats when comparing what they had to others. But the problems created by gigs don't stop there. Another major issue that results from gig syndrome is poor and rash decision making. To help you understand why this would be the case, we need to talk about focusing illusions. According to Encyclopedia of Mental Health, a focusing illusion is the tendency to focus too much on a single factor or piece of information when making judgments or predictions. Sounds complicated? Here's an example. Take a look at me. Let's say all the different parts of my body represent all the wonderful stuff going on in your life. My slightly unkempt hair represents your stable job. My left arm represents your good health, and my shoulders represent your loving and supportive family. You get the picture. But my pinky represents the fact that you can't finish the 50-yard freestyle swim split under 30 seconds. It's on your mind all the time, costing you major opportunities and no doubt making people laugh at you behind your back. And now you're staring at it so much, it feels like it's bigger than everything else in your life. And since it's all you see, now you're ready to do something stupid and impulsive to fix it, like cutting off my finger. Sounds drastic? Well, it is. This is a focusing illusion, and it's a major problem to fall victim to it, because you're making decisions in a false perspective of reality. According to USC's Dr. Patches Logoy, we wouldn't be feeling like the grass was always greener if you could see the bigger picture and everything else in our lives. But this illusion has caused people to walk away from fulfilling jobs. It's destroyed marriages And it's without a doubt taking a massive toll on the happiness of Americans everywhere. Now that we've taken a deep dive into the problems created by gigs and how it operates within our brains, let's talk about why this has become so much more extreme in recent years. Social media and the rise of self-empowerment culture. Let's start with social media. We live in a time where everyone's life is on display 24/7. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, these platforms all contribute to a culture of constant comparison. According to a study by the Royal Society for Public Health, social media has been linked to increased rates of anxiety, depression, and poor sleep. We're constantly comparing ourselves not just to others, but to their best moments, their perfect lives. A Frankenstein's monster of perfectly posed beach pics and effortless snapshots of them at the beach parties. Now, let's talk about the self-empowerment. Don't get me wrong, self-empowerment is a great thing, but there's growing pressure to always be achieving more. While the self-help industry can provide valuable tools for personal development, it can also create unrealistic expectations and contribute to feelings of inadequacy. According to author Mark Manson, the same effect can be done with placebos, teaching clients to suppress certain negative feelings or to pump their temporary emotional states. These all create short-term sensations of accomplishment and improvement, but almost always dissipate within a few days or weeks. The pressure to always be moving towards a better, more successful version of yourself can lead to chronic dissatisfaction with where you are right now. You started going to the gym? Cool. Why aren't you doing it at 4 a.m.? You're doing swim drills 3 times a week. Why not 5? This voice in our head telling us, get on my level, bro, might seem like it's pushing us to greater heights, but it's also causing self-doubt. So when you mix constant comparison and social media, it's no wonder gigs is becoming more common. We're no longer content with what we have because we're always being reminded of what we don't have. Now that we've identified gig syndrome and its core problems, let's focus on the solutions. The first step is reduce time on social media. Reducing our time spent online minimizes these comparisons and allows us to focus on our real lives. In fact, one 2023 study published in the journal Technology, Mind, and Behavior found that just cutting social media usage to just 30 minutes per day can lead to significant improvements in overall well-being and lower levels of loneliness and depression. We'll start off with the babiest of baby steps that you can do right now. Don't wait till I'm done talking. I'm serious. Do this right now during my speech because it's going to majorly improve your life. Tech experts at PCMag report that just by eliminating those home screen notifications and alerts, you'll find yourself reducing the overall time you spend on the app doom scrolling. Another effective solution is practicing gratitude. As psychologist Robert Emmons explains, gratitude helps people relish good experiences and build strong relationships. When we recognize the good things in our life, our health, our relationships, and small achievements, we feel more content. One easy way to start is by journaling. Many psychologists like Dr. Christina R. Wilson recommend writing down good things as they happen to you, no matter how small. So, write down moments your significant other made you laugh, or even those times people let you merge in traffic. It all adds up, and as the pages start to fill, you start to become aware of how many things you have to be grateful for. So today, after a lengthy learning and healing process, I'm happy to say that I think my gigs is a premonition. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and not fall victim to the mental trap that leads us to believe that something better is always waiting for us on the fringes of what we already have. The truth is, what we have is already good enough. We don't need to steal someone else's life or ideas to find value in our own. So instead of chasing after something that seems better, let's take a moment to appreciate the value in what we already have, because that's what really matters.